Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cat girls, welcome to another episode.
He jumps right into it. Jesus. Okay.
Of I'm so distraught right now. Can we talk about how Ron just ate a Nutty Buddy bar?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not okay. I
thought
can't even get on with the show until we discuss this. Who eats a Nutty Buddy bar end to end like a candy bar?
I do.
No. You
How do you eat
dissect it layer by layer
Oh.
and you lick the peanut butter out of it, and then you put it back together and then you eat the wafer.
No.
No, that's exactly how
No.
you're supposed to eat it. You're supposed to savor. Yes.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely yes. Don't act like I'm the psychopath here, right?
It's 2-1, dude. You're the psychopath.
Well, no, hold on. No, look, I eat it the way Ron eats it. However, I understand the way you eat it. That's just not my preferred method. So,
did you guys grow up with people that were like that would like if you didn't eat it fast enough, you didn't eat situation?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, we all had siblings.
Yeah, see, I
grew up with
didn't.
four other
Oh,
kids.
okay.
So there you go.
Yeah, so that explains it. So I
Okay.
as a child got the delicacy of time,
Savoring
being able
it.
to savor every food. That makes more sense. No,
Let me ask you something. How do you eat a Kit Kat?
Sideways.
See?
That's how I eat a banana too.
Yep.
There is no rule that says you have to eat a banana end to end the long way.
See,
No.
Chuck's problem is every time he goes to eat a banana end to end, he just shoves it down his throat and then pulls it back out. And he's like, wait.
Not true, because my gag reflexes actually are very terrible. So I get like a little bit in, and then it's just like, I can't. I do eat corn the long way, though. I do that. I do eat corn the long way.
You know, I need to see this.
The only podcast on planet God dang Earth that reviews something that's on Joey's stupid arbitrary list of comic books forever and always, because it's never, the show's never going to end.
I can't look. Here's the fun thing is I kind of like this show more than I like Comic Book Rundown anymore. So I mean, I like Comic Book Rundown.
Has it been official that we okay.
It was gonna be announced probably on the next episode, but I can announce it here. So starting at the beginning of the year, because this episode comes out on the 22nd of December, so we'll have one more episode of comics coming out afterwards. We are going to be doing rundown reviews basically for the whole year. Instead, we're gonna take a pause on comic reviews for a while. And we're gonna do movie reviews, comic book movie reviews, as well as we're throwing in some Star Wars in there for the year. We're gonna have Jordan join us for those, so that's gonna be fun. But yeah, no, officially in 2024 we'll be doing about every single week will be rundown reviews.
The reason being, and let me explain it to you: movies are rad. And reading is dumb.
No, it's not. It's not that reading is dumb. It's starting to become a chore for me. And I never wanted it to be a chore.
Sure, that makes sense. I mean, you read for like what, hours?
Depending on the book.
For days, even possibly.
Depending on the book.
Through a trade paper, it takes me 3.5 months on average to get through a trade paper.
I'm glad that
but you can watch in 2 hours and take it out.
But we know how to read.
I mean, look at the. Why do you think I only read? I just gather what the story is from the pictures. I'm not reading. You mean? I ordered before we get into this, a movie I was unable to watch.
Yeah. I'll explain that here in a minute.
I bought the first volume of Weird Science.
Did you?
Yeah, because I was like, oh, let me see what this like. Let me see if the story is even in this one, and let me see all this, because that's exactly how you're. Well, you're supposed to take it apart off, Ron, and then you do it that way. It's so text dense. Like, there's more words on the page than the picture. They might as well have just
Perez
written
story.
a
Gotcha.
book. Yeah, they should have just like written a book.
That sounds terrible.
It's not great.
I've run into that a few different times in a few different books.
Wonder Woman.
While, George Perez has been notorious for that. He tells a great story, but it's a giant ass story. So with art by whomever is, so usually him as doing the art as well, it just becomes cumbersome and annoying. And it's like, I kind of want to just move this along. Like, I don't need all this exposition. But yeah,
but isn't
that's
that
kind of disappointing.
How comics should be like the story should be told in the art more than the
correct.
The
100%.
Yeah.
A good comic artist can tell the story without dialogue.
Right.
Ironically, I just reread Claws for World's Finest True Believers. I was on that, joined my friend Chris. That came out, if my math is correct, this past Sunday. So go check that out over on the Geek Ultimate Alliance. And similar situation, Dan Mora, wonderful artist. A lot of the art in that book is just art, not a lot of dialogue on certain issues. Ron reread it. We covered it a few years back.
It was great.
So it's one of those that the art tells a story, and
I mean, the Six Gun does the same thing for a lot.
Six Gun has moments. Yep. There's four I don't know how many issues of the first Batgirl series or second series. Either way, Cassandra Cain Batgirl. She can't talk. So all it is other people talking, but it's mainly her doing actions, fighting, and kicking people's ass. And there's been issues where there's no dialogue at all. So it's I mean, so was the story in there though? Was the story with the movie that we watched in that volume of Weird Science or not? Or
check this out.
It doesn't look like it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna take me like a year and a half to get through this book. Are you kidding me? It does not look like it because I looked through it. It's a lot of like alien invasion, blowing up a world, like blowing up worlds.
Okay.
And there is a time travel, I think a travel story in there.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, I mean, they look interesting. I like sci-fi stuff. And this is like very much a time capsule of the era, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
100%.
Where they were like space exploration was like just starting in general. So like we're guessing like what does Mars even actually look like, and so it was very interesting.
Oh, cool.
I'm still trying to work through Mr. Miracle, so like
that's fair. Yeah, that
did we read one of those?
No, we haven't.
Okay.
No, but Mr. Miracle is pretty awesome. That was a really good series.
Yeah, I really liked
Miracle Man, didn't we, or something like that?
Yep.
The Miracle Man and Mr. Miracle, two different things.
Very.
Yeah. Found that out. No, I'm actually like beating them all off with both hands at this point because I've got that. I've got Strange Adventures.
I'm sorry, you're what? You're doing what now, Chuck?
Yeah. I have Strange Adventures by Tom King. And I'm reading The Mask because I know eventually we're gonna have to review it on the.
I have to double check. I don't think we're gonna get to it in 2024, but we will get to it.
So I might be halfway through it by the time we get to it. Is what you're saying?
Yeah. So if doing as many as we're gonna do next year, we might get to it by the beginning of 25. So we'll see. I don't know. Basically, it's closer now than it was before. But that being said,
good because it's going to take me that long to read it. So
that's fair. Today we're going to be watching the Invincible Iron Man from 2007. So today, Ron and I watched Invincible Iron Man from 2007, and Chuck, we asked you if you wanted to come on, and we will explain the movie to you, and then you can get a idea of what the movie was about.
Sure. So full disclaimer, I literally couldn't find this movie. It's not
anywhere.
It's not streaming anywhere. I kind of thought maybe I could find it Disney Plus now because they have the entire everything for Marvel for the most part wasn't on there. I looked on Amazon.
All right, Chuck. You ready for this?
Yeah.
A lone warrior, a suit of armor, our only hope, Iron Man.
Are you reading the back of the box?
I am. Past and present collide in this epic adventure that reveals the origin of Iron Man while raising the ruins of a long-buried Chinese kingdom. Billionaire inventor Tony Stark digs up far more than he bargained for. He unleashes an age-old prophecy that foretells the resurrection of the Mandarin, the emperor of China's darkest and most violent dynasty. In order to confront the destructive forces, Tony creates an armored suit infused with high-tech weaponry to stop the evil that he himself has raised from the earth. Tony must become his greatest invention ever, Iron Man. The newly born champion must travel the four corners of the earth, which, obviously the people that wrote this are flat earthers. Let's see, four corners of the earth to battle the Mandarin's henchmen, the elements, four magical warriors who harness the powers of the elements, earth, water, wind, and fire, with deadly chemistry. But this Iron Knight, as he is known in the prophecy, is he strong enough to defy the fate and turn back the malevolent forces hell-bent on Earth's destruction? And then here's a picture.
Which is basically just
classic Invincible Iron Man cover, right? That's like an iconic pose and look for him from the comics. I'm actually looking at one of the issues that I think they took that from.
Ironically, because at the very end, in the end credits, they are showing a ton of Iron Man comic art, which majority of it happened around 2005, 2006, 2007 when this came out. None of it is. They did show an Ultimate Spider-Man in there, or Ultimate Iron Man in there in those credits. Ultimate Iron Man would have been better than this.
Yeah,
I thought Ultimate Iron Man was super rad. I remember reading that when I was a kid. When it first came out, it was like super dope. I had one of the first trade paper. It was rad.
And even the Ultimate Avengers. Ultimate Avengers was basically
the Ultimates.
The Ultimates, thank you. Well, no, it was Ultimate Avengers. Yeah, it was based off of the Ultimates. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, which is the Ultimate line. Which, no, this movie.
This was garbage.
Well, and it was called the Ultimates, right?
The
comics were. Yeah.
The animated
So there was like Ultimates 2, Ultimates 3.
Yes, there was. But they did they did two animated movies that we watched previously. And they called it Ultimate Avengers and Ultimate Avengers 2, which Ultimate Avengers,
because they didn't want to confuse anybody on the Avengers being, the Avengers.
Well, Ultimate Avengers 1 covered the Ultimates Volume 1, and then Ultimate Avengers 2 loosely took stuff from Ultimates 2. And I'm saying loosely because I think all I had was just the Black Panther showing up, because that movie was not great. Sadly, this was worse, which was interesting.
This was definitely worse.
Okay, so from the look of something I've always wanted to ask people who are Iron Man fans. Okay. Looking at the cover, I think we can see the same thing. But when you look at Iron Man, especially from like 90s, like 80s, 90s, and really before like this, like the movie came out, and then they kind of like adopted all of the armor based off his like movie suit, where it's actually like full plated like existing armor. All the yellow spots on his armor
look like cloth.
Right? Like they're like
not
spandex,
but they look like it. Yes.
But he moves as if it is cloth.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what we have here is a common case of comic book logic.
All right.
Basically, they didn't want to have to draw him all the time in a big clunky suit where they wouldn't be able to put him in, like iconic hero poses. So they made parts of his suit look like they're skin tight, so that way they could make him move like a normal person.
Well, and the movies did a good job of like advancing it to nanotech so that it's still armor, but it's armor that he can actually move in, which is nice. And I know the comics kind of sort of did some mix up. I'll talk about Ultimate line a lot because they did a really wonderful job of making that somewhat believable. And that is, you've got the armor pieces and then the moving parts. While it is still armor, it's more
add-on
fluid, sort of. I don't know. It's easy. It's got the cloth part, but it's more. It's similar to like old armor where it's like chainmail or whatever technology he had, to where he can actually bend his arm and not get caught, and move his arms up so his shoulders can move. It's done better.
All right. It's always bugged me, and I've always wondered. So, what happened to his leg in this photo? Anyway, so tell me about this movie.
Read the 70s books because they suck.
Yeah. So Iron Man is basically, Tony Stark is basically like, his dad's not dead in this one.
Yep. Howard Stark's alive and he runs the company.
Okay. So his dad's not dead, which is like one of the biggest things of the background of Iron Man is that his father dies.
Not necessarily.
Wasn't that the whole reason why he was always drinking?
No, he's always drinking because he's just a party billionaire alcoholic.
Which usually is because you have father issues, but continue.
Well, yes, father issues always happen. Actually, now I'm thinking about it. Maybe his father always is dead.
I'm pretty sure.
So his dad runs the company along with a board of directors. And Tony's like doing his own thing, trying to, he's basically being Tony. He wants to do some projects. He's trying to get away from weapons. His dad's pissed off about it. He's like, this company was built on weapons. And Rhodey is his engineer friend.
Yeah.
Okay. Like no military ties or anything. He's just an engineer.
Which I'm trying to remember, because we haven't, in the comics, we haven't been introduced to Rhodey yet, have we?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. But then again, I also don't remember because I usually tend to purge any of the early Marvel shit out of my head as soon as possible.
Yeah, any of the early shit, period.
Yeah. So Rhodey is on a dig site and Tony is supposed to be there but never shows up because he's getting laid by some girl in New York.
All right, so pause real quick right there. So this movie was rated what? PG-13. Okay. So they were trying to make him like this sex, like he is a horny, rich dude. And then they just tried to overdo it with the like implied nudity. First with the chick in the bathtub, where like it was like, oh, in the water, the towel, whatever, standing right behind him, like your classic like misdirection of or proper placement or whatever that hides the nudity. Then for whatever reason, at the end of the movie, and I know I'm bouncing around here, and I'm sorry, but we get apparently when you're possessed, all your clothes fall off.
Mm-hmm.
Classic possession.
That doesn't happen to you.
Not usually, no.
So,
Oh, I'm constantly possessed and find myself naked,
but
just me.
So they were like using this like ghostly like cloak to hide all of her fun bits, and it was really dumb. But anyways,
that was probably. I'm not saying they needed to show her naked, but like they overdid it with that scene.
Or they could have just left her clothes on.
Yeah. It was stupid.
Or they could have suited her up in like his armor. So, the idea of her being possessed by the Mandarin,
Yeah, that actually would have been smarter.
Yeah, but whatever. But they're trying to raise this city that had sunk or was lowered into the ground to be like a tomb.
It was the Mandarin's tomb. It got destroyed and sunk underground generations before. And so Tony's trying to raise it up to preserve history. And so he told Rhodey to go do it, basically, because Tony. And they're going to use this metal that, when shot with like supersonic high frequency, will expand.
So it's a liquid metal.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, it's a liquid metal that when it gets hit with the sonic bombardment, it expands and hardens to be almost unbreakable. Basically,
well, it hardens as soon as they stop hitting it. Like it still expands while the sonic thing is going at it, and then once they stop, then it's metal and you can't stop it. And so they do that to raise the city, but the group doing it is getting attacked left and right by these guerrilla warriors. This terrorist group, I guess. I don't know. And Rhodey is at his wit's end because he never has enough material to raise the city. And so he gets a hold of Tony. Tony blows him off, basically, until the day that they do raise the city, and then Rhodey gets captured while everybody else, all the other crew members, get killed.
So again, terrorists end up with Stark weapons, and it's blamed on Tony. They're saying that he did it, that, like, oh, he sent these weapons over there, blah, 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 whatever. So the board uses that as an excuse to basically get Tony on the CIA's, most wanted list.
Yeah, what came after that? So Tony ends up going to
China,
the country, yeah. Gets captured.
Makes the Iron Man suit. Well, yes. Makes an Iron Man suit.
Yeah, and then that didn't make any sense later.
Dude, you know what else didn't make any sense? When he goes to take off and Rhodey is holding on to his neck, and Rhodey can just hold on that well.
There were handholds.
Dude, all right, yeah, but have you met any engineers?
A few.
The engineers that I have known don't have the arm strength to fucking do a pull-up, let alone be holding on for their life, flying it, what?
Maybe he wasn't an engineer. Secretly wasn't an engineer. That's why he was so jacked.
Say he was Jack and Tony, and that's why his hands are so strong?
Sure, we'll go with that. Let's see here.
But so they get back, they make their way back to the States, and then like they secretly get their way into the Stark building where Tony has a secret room full of Iron Man outfits,
which then makes the other one irrelevant. Like it's supposed basically to be his Mark 1, because it looks similar to what the one in the Iron Man movie looks like. It's just scrapped together pieces of crap. But then he's got this whole room full of all these other suits that he's been tinkering with over time. He's had these ideas. It's like what?
And like he's got like an aqua suit, and he's got one that's like fire resistant. And I'm just like, oh my dear God, could you have like fucking shittily set this up anymore? Because of course, when the city, yeah. So when the city gets raised like up out of the ground, these like demon spirit things come to life, and each one of them embodies.
The statues that are surrounding the Mandarin breaks, and they're all these android elementals.
They're like some kind of demon elementals. Yeah, they're there's a fire one and a rock one, a wind one, and an ice one, I think, or something like that.
Yep.
Or water. I don't know.
No heart, so they couldn't summon Captain Planet.
Yeah. But then there are these.
So they're trying to find these 5 bands. They call it 5 bands. And they look like rings. except for the last one, which I called, and I haven't seen this movie in forever, but when they kept on calling it 5 bands and not 5 rings.
And her bracelet.
Yeah, Lee May, who is the lady of interest that Tony falls in love with, whatever. She's got a bracelet on. Turns out her family lineage is supposed to.
Well, they're the descendants of the Mandarin.
There we go. So they're supposed to embody him when he comes back.
Yeah, and it's like, and the whole time they're like, "Oh, it was supposed to be a man," and her dad's all pissed off, and he's like, "Oh, you were supposed to be this was supposed to be for me, and now you have to do it, and you suck because you're a girl." Because they're Chinese.
Yeah. Yeah. So the elementals are looking for all these rings in the, like Ron said earlier, the 4 corners of the earth. The first one they go to is the lava one, right?
No. The first one is underwater, I think.
Where does Tony stops at meets him the first time in underwater? No,
they get the first one without him.
Correct. I can't remember where that was.
I want to say it was the rock one, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
I
didn't take very many notes. I thought it sucked.
I tried to take as detailed notes as possible. Apparently, I didn't.
I did miss a note at the beginning of the movie when the statue, like its eyes look at that dude or whatever, and he falls. He fell off 5 levels of fucking scaffolding, landed on his back, and then got up and ran away.
Yeah,
that dude should have been the fucking hero of the story, because he'd have been able to take any beating that any of these fucking things gave him and walk away from it.
Because there wasn't a lot of notes on IMDb, a lot of trivia on IMDb, I actually started looking at some of the reviews. And ironically enough, somebody actually posted things I learned from this movie. A clear 50-foot drop won't even wind you.
Yeah. And then when Tony is captured, there's an old dude with him that just gives him this map that has all the locations conveniently of where the rings are at.
Yeah, how the hell did he know? And they definitely didn't look like they were 4 corners of the earth. They looked like 4 corners of China, if I'm being honest.
No, they were in different areas of the world.
The map looked like it.
Oh, no, not the map, but like the actual rings themselves.
Yeah, sure. But the map that he gave Tony was all in one geographical area.
Well, yeah, that's because that's how I told you it was a flat earther.
Fair. Okay.
But dude, okay, did you notice how clunky the animation style was on this?
The 2D to 3D did not work at all.
Well, no, and it was like it looked like me when my fucking signal's not going through. Like it was
Chuck today, gotcha. No, you're
but
right.
It was terrible to watch.
Yeah. Especially the Iron Man and Elementals fighting. It was bad. It was really bad. I didn't like it.
They could have done it with claymation and it would have been 10 times better.
Probably.
And I'm talking like, Gumby claymation, and it would have looked better.
Oh, funny enough, I just found out, and this story came out, a month ago. The clay that they used for the Wallace and Gromit movies and TV show, apparently they're running out of it. The company that made the clay shut down some time ago. So the new Wallace and Gromit movie is going to be like the last one because they don't have any more of that clay.
I didn't even know they were still making Wallace and Gromit movies.
Yeah, well, now you do.
Yeah.
Now you know the new one's going to be the last one.
The last one that I saw was the Were-Rabbit one. So, 20 years ago, maybe? I don't know.
I hope it gets super dark and they talk about the fact that they know that they don't have much more time because they are aware that
they're running out of
clay. Yeah.
I mean, that'd be pretty...
That'd be
awesome.
Dark as fuck. That'd be rad.
It would.
So what you're telling me
rad.
is this movie is the plot to The Mummy meets Hereditary.
I've never seen Hereditary.
I don't know if I'd go.
Well, the whole
okay,
I'm mad
maybe,
that you're a girl when you should be a guy. It has just strong Hereditary vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I have seen Hereditary.
Hereditary. That's the one where the girl gets her head lopped off by the telephone pole.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have seen that one.
Yeah, they have to reset it. They have to reset the sequence. Yeah.
Oh. That movie freaked out Emily.
It freaked me out. I was on a date with
the light on.
I ended up having a panic attack because of that scene in the middle of the theater.
So Emily watched that on her phone in like 20-minute increments with her phone like all the way out here. This is back when she had to pick up her daughter from school. And after watching it, we had to sleep with a light on in our room for like a week. She was freaked out. I'm like, that's fine. I don't care. It's whatever.
I liked it. I thought it was really.
It was good. She liked it too. It was a good movie, but like
I liked Midsommar a little bit better.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that one yet.
That one I'd recommend. That one's good.
Yeah, you'll like it.
All right, so we had mentioned Tony having to sneak into his company. That's because he thinks that his dad kind of like sold him out, and so S.H.I.E.L.D. came to try and arrest him. And so they are just wandering around the building trying to keep tabs, making sure he doesn't get back in. But I'll just say that Tony is the worst at trying to keep a secret, because he kind of sort of throws Pepper under the bus.
Well, Pepper and then Rhodey, and almost himself. Yeah.
Yeah, like him trying to go confront his dad, which it turned out his dad had nothing to do with any of this. It was Lee May trying to keep Tony from coming back to China because she didn't want the prophecy to not come true or something. Like she didn't want to die by Tony's hand. I don't know. This movie was so the elementals get all the rings.
Also, did you notice that Howard Stark looked a lot like Adolf Hitler?
I was trying to piece it. I don't think it was Adolf Hitler, but like his look reminded me of somebody.
Adolf Hitler.
I don't think it was Adolf Hitler, but I couldn't place where. That's the other thing.
Had the side part, had the mustache. Like if his mustache exactly, but if his mustache would have been a little bit shorter.
Okay, fair. So anyway, back to explain the movie to Chuck. So the elementals do end up getting all the rings. Too bad, we're gonna explain it anyway. Gets all the rings. Tony takes down 3 of them. The final one gets back to the Mandarin to give him all the rings. Tony takes down that final one and is like, all right, I got them all. I'm going to give them to Lee May because I trust her. And she's got the 5th band, which is what she needed to then let the Mandarin possess her. And then we get a battle between Iron Man and the Mandarin, which is really just Lee May and the Mandarin, her fighting her inner demon, which is the Mandarin.
Yeah, it's like a big, like, shadowy thing behind her that is possessing her, and it was dumb.
Yeah.
Oh, we forgot about the dragon.
Oh yeah, there's a dragon.
Yeah,
which gets no, sadly.
Then what the fuck is the point?
It should have been. Well, I mean,
it pops out after Tony kills all the other elemental things because it's supposed to be like protecting the Mandarin.
The final protection or something like that.
Yeah.
He kills it with the liquid metal. He shoves it down his throat and then uses the sonic thing to expand it in him. Which is why I brought it up earlier, because look, they did something in the beginning and it paid off at the end.
Yeah, this movie was full of really shitty damn it, foreshadowing. There we go.
Yeah. Okay. Exactly. Like you called it the minute it happened. Like I said, with the bands, not rings, bands with the metal. Yeah.
So you're telling me that this movie was essentially The Mummy meets Hereditary,
like the third Mummy. You know where it was absolute garbage?
Actually, yeah, the third Mummy, because at one point he raises this stone army.
Okay, so Mummy 3 with a little bit of Hereditary, with Shang-Chi and Legend of the Five Rings.
10 rings.
Doesn't
no, it's 10 rings. That's the thing. It's 10, Legend of the 10 rings.
But those are rings, not to be confused with bands, and these were bands.
Actually, they were bands because his dad, they wore them on their wristbands.
No, those
rings.
were actually rings. They were just for somebody that was bigger than them.
With the ending to Men in Black, with the dragon.
Men in Black 2?
No, Men in Black 1.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
K goes inside of him. Yep.
Yeah.
Sure. That actually sounds better and way cooler than what actually happened. Yeah,
okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
So does he defeat the Mandarin at the end?
No, Li Mei defeats the Mandarin. Like she.
Well, yeah.
She stops it. Iron Man doesn't do
takes
shit.
the rings off.
Yeah.
So and the band.
Possessor.
Okay. So I did watch the trailer to this. And I watched it and said, nah, I remember when this movie came out because this was right.
This was a year before the first movie, the Iron Man MCU.
Was it really a year before?
That came in 2008. Yep. That came out in 2008.
Wow. Okay, I was thinking 2006. But I guess that makes sense because I was in college when that movie came out.
So this, I think I explained it last when we were talking about Weird Science, or maybe I explained it in one of our comic book things. I don't remember. But like this was the third movie of the Marvel animated universe, because we had Ultimate Avengers and Ultimate Avengers 2, then this one. So Marvel was starting to do something animation wise,
but they just sucked at it.
Well, I remember this movie being better, but I also hadn't watched it since I bought the movie in 2007, and we've had a ton of better things come out, especially animated wise.
Yeah, I would say even like on that timeline standard, like 2007 standards, this is still shitty animation and a bad story.
It looks like an era of its time because the 3D stuff looks kind of cel shaded with the mix of the 2D stuff from the trailer. It reminds me a lot of the was it Ultimate Spider-Man that was on like MTV2?
That was not Spectacular Spider-Man. Yeah, it was a Spider-Man like a CGI Spider-Man. I can't remember what that was called.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was not good. But it was on like MTV2. And
yes,
it was supposed to be a little edgier Spider-Man because he was in college and stuff.
Neil Patrick Harris did the voice of Spider-Man.
I know, which is a shame because like I really wanted to like the show because they were trying to do. Was it a continuation of maybe like the Amazing Spider-Man movie?
So I don't remember.
Electro was in it and he was blue.
Amazing Spider-Man didn't come out until the 2010s.
It wasn't around the same time?
No,
I don't know. I didn't see it.
I never watched it because I didn't have MTV.
Yes, I didn't have cable, so I never watched it.
Shit, I don't remember. I don't think it did. I don't think it like continued on, but it could have. I mean, obviously the best continuation was No Way Home, but you know. Just saying.
I know it's on Disney because I saw it pop up.
It's not Spectacular. Spectacular is a way better show.
Marvel Spider-Man? No, it was Kids and Family. Wasn't it? Spider-Man, the new animated series? Yeah, Spider-Man, the new animated series. 1 season. Neil Patrick Harris was on it.
2003.
Yep.
So that was way before this. Well, not way before. It was a couple years. Yeah,
but it has like it has like that same look and design.
It definitely went with the more CGI, more computer generated design than previous.
Here, dude, if we even want to get into it, in the 90s, the Spider-Man cartoon show from the 90s had better 2D and 3D combined than this movie did.
The Iron Man cartoon from the 90s is a better 2D
Whoa,
and 3D.
Slow down.
This movie? Yeah, it did. I'm not saying the show was great.
It's not. Watched that like a year and a half ago, something like that, because I was working. I told myself I'm gonna watch all of the animated stuff that I never, because everything from my childhood is on streaming services now, right? Batman animated series, Gargoyles, Spider-Man, X-Men, Spider-Man Unlimited.
Dude, it's so wild watching Spider-Man and the X-Men in order.
Right? I think I was talking with somebody about just Spider-Man, because back in the day I couldn't, like, what season 4 and 5 was one continuous story, and I would miss half the episodes because I wouldn't get home in time.
And it'd always be the same episodes that you'd miss too.
Yep.
Because every time they'd run the reruns on it, it'd be like, oh, I missed fucking episode 3 of this story arc, and now I don't know what the fuck's going on again.
Yeah, why did these 3 other Spider-Man show up? What the hell's going on? What happened to MJ? Like, it was.
Yeah, or like when they would show, like, they'd only do like one story arc, and then they just repeat it like over and over again.
Mm-hmm. Do you know how many times I watched the Hobgoblin throw a bomb through a window that Spider-Man had just jumped through, and never got to see what happened after for like a year and a half, because they went on like the season was over. The season, and so it was like we wouldn't find out for another year what happened, but they looped that season over and over and over again.
Well, that was the thing. They wouldn't even loop the whole season. It'd be like the 5-episode arc, and then they would just continuously do that shit.
Yeah.
They did that with Power Rangers too, where they storyline would be stretched over a week's worth of episodes, like towards the end of the series. So I think that was just a theme for the era, because they had to fill time. You know what I mean? Like they had to stretch a story and make it go. I feel like it's a lot like anime. You know what I mean? Like they have to do it for a full year run, so they have to put in all these filler episodes. But instead of filler episodes, they just
you're thinking of Dragon Ball Z.
Ain't that the truth?
Dragon Ball Z is the filler episode. Well, okay, I actually can't say that anymore because I've heard that there's a
the new series alleged. Hold on now, One Piece. Their filler
hot garbage is what I heard.
Oh, fuck off! One Piece.
I heard that there's like 6 episodes per every 100 that are good, and then the rest of them are just filler bullshit.
Nope, I don't know who's telling you that. They're assholes. This series is great.
Look, when I look online to find like the Dragon Ball Z Kai version and like show list of One Piece, and it's still over 200 episodes, I'm not watching it. I want to. I have friends that are obsessed with it and telling me it's so good, and watch the anime and read the manga. It's
what we need.
Cosplays characters from it. It's
the anime is
what we need is a One Piece abridged.
All right, I got you. It's the One Piece live action on Netflix. They and actually One Piece does it itself. They
No. I mean, as in Dragon Ball Z abridged.
I know what you mean.
Like, we need One Piece abridged. That way, it's worth watching.
But
it's 200 something episodes. Like, what's the point,
sir? One Piece is 1,000 episodes right now.
Yeah,
I know. But like, the abridged version would still be like 200 something episodes.
No, they do it. Dude, they covered Dragon Ball Z, all like the 4 seasons of it in like 4 2-hour videos.
All right, tell you what. And this is to the listeners too. Go back 2 weeks over on the Walk Through the Multiverse, where I covered the live action adaptation of One Piece that's on Netflix. It's 10 episodes. It covers basically the first story arc, which is around 50-ish episodes of the anime.
So only 950 more to go.
Yeah, well, they're going to do a really good job.
They're not done yet with it, are they? They're still making episodes of One Piece, aren't they?
Yeah, they just of the anime because because the manga is still coming out.
Yeah,
it's getting closer to the end.
That's what they keep telling you, but you idiots keep buying it, so they keep making it.
Technically, I got a subscription to Shonen Jump, so I'm just reading it there. Anyway,
okay.
The anime's good. The manga's good. Fuck off, both of you.
Okay.
Hit a
Right.
But no, in all seriousness, though, go check out the live action. It's really good. It's a really good, faithful live action adaptation of a manga and anime. Because I've been covering some not so great live action coverages of
anime. Like the Dragon Ball Z movie or the Death Note movie or
the Full Metal Alchemist ones were hit and miss, which was really kind of sad because I really like that anime.
Anyway, so Iron Man,
Invincible Iron Man. Yeah. So
the dispensable Iron Man.
Very dispensable. Yeah, I don't. This movie sucked.
What was
Not
the kill
worst
count?
thing we've saw, but still sucked. I got a kill count of 20, and that did not include the statues because they were lifeless.
They were never alive.
Yeah. So I got 20 there. What you got for a bingo?
So, of what I paid attention to, we got implied nudity, government interference, unexplainable science, comic book logic, betrayal by a friend, and an identity reveal.
Did we have implied nudity on the bingo?
Yeah, implied nudity's always been on the bingo.
Has it?
Yeah, nudity or implied nudity.
Okay. So basically, just any movie, because
no, we've had very few of them that have had nudity or implied nudity compared to how many we've had that haven't.
That's fair.
And especially since the fucking cartoon.
Yeah. We'll skip over the
no, Chuck. Continuum. Chuck, give us the Spawn Cape Continuum. You watched the trailer.
Just looking at the trailer alone, I mean, it looks atrocious. It looks real bad. They should have.
That's 100% accurate.
They should have tried to do all 3D or all 2D, but when you try to do both at the same time, it just doesn't. It never translates well.
No, man, that's 5D, man.
It's not. And it just
anyway.
It just like it is absolutely a capture of like the time at which it came, a product of it, right? Because this was an era where 3D CGI was becoming more mainstream and like more popular. So anything that could like push the limits of that was like trying to do it, right? They had these engines out there, they were trying to make them look good, but they still had to keep costs low, so they were still incorporating 2D stats or something. I don't know. I'm gonna say like 36 out of 147 spawn capes. Like it's not good.
Not great.
Not good. Should be ashamed of itself.
It should be. You are 100% correct.
I mean, from what I could tell, the 3D stuff looked stiff.
Yeah, it was all janky and clunky. Like it didn't mesh and it didn't move right, and it was very jerky.
Yeah,
100%. So kind of just like the regular, like an actual spawn cape, also jerky and not looking good.
All right, fair. Okay. So given our explanation of this movie, Chuck, would you like to rate this out of 10? You don't have to, but
I mean, I will. I don't know if you want to count it into the score necessarily. 100%.
Like, you're on the show. You're counted.
So here's the thing: is it an Iron Man movie? Yeah, it sounds like it is an Iron Man movie. It has Iron Man.
See, that's where I don't think it is.
It has a stupid plot based around the idea of like science versus like spirituality and magic,
supernatural. Right?
Yeah.
Plus, we also have Iron Man, which is the white savior. So that is also not great.
So that tracks. I mean, but I inherently think that Iron Man is kind of a boring character anyway. He is very like he is very Batman-ish without the grimdark aesthetic and stuff, and the gothic aesthetic, I guess, is actually what I mean. And really grimdark, but nothing about Iron Man ever really interested me. Even when we get into live action stuff, kind of cool, but I don't know. So I'm gonna say the trailer seemed shitty. You guys explaining it was like painful. I'm gonna say like a 2.6 because I can base it off the trailer, and the trailer didn't look great.
That works.
It also just sounds like the plot doesn't make any fucking sense. It's a bunch of
Maybe,
MacGuffin
the
doing
only
shit
reason
for the sake of doing it, and no reason when
it
they
had
could have just missed all of it.
It had a plot line similar to the Hellboy movie that we watched.
Oh, the
That sounds
Blood and
weird.
Iron
with the metal snake lady and
yeah.
So maybe just that this era, like whatever this era is,
2007 was rough. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe why is this what was really pushing during that time where like mythology was like the coolest thing to like go about?
who knows?
Were we at war with anybody? Were we at war with China?
No, I mean this would have been in the midst of like shit really falling apart with the war in Iraq. So maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
When did 300 come out?
2007.
03
So
02 or I don't know.
2007 and
Yeah.
06.
It says 07.
Well, I got it written down as 06.
Well, I mean, I am using Yahoo, so.
Why are you always using Yahoo?
No, it was definitely 2007 because it was in the. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, March 9th, 2007. It says.
Hold on. 300.
That's IMDb, but then it says 2006 in the parentheses, so I don't know.
Yeah, I've got. Oh wait, you're right. Hold on. That's odd.
Was it the DVD maker in 2007?
No, because even Wikipedia says 2007, but when I looked it up, it was saying 2006. Oh, December 9th, 2006 at Butt Numathon at a film festival. And then it came out nationwide or worldwide. Well, nationwide in 2007. So it got barely
like that
under
movie's
that.
Huge, and so we were maybe.
Who knows?
I don't know. Ron,
Anyway,
what you got for
sorry,
score?
I'm trying to figure out why this like literally
bad. I don't know
storyline and it's just like so constant.
So
wait, when did Mummy 3 come out?
God, 2000. So probably around this time. But so I gave it a 1.5 because it was absolute garbage. Like the storyline was trash, the characters were trash, the plot was trash, the animation was trash. Yeah, so 1.5 pretty much sums it up.
1.5 isn't bad. I'm actually closer to Chuck's score at a 2.65. I don't know. I had better memories of this, and maybe that's why I gave it a little higher score than I wanted to. But I also know that there's a few movies coming up that are going to be better than this. So you're right, though. This movie sucked. This movie was bad. Yeah. We come out with a combined score of 2.25. I really don't know what else to say about that.
Yeah.
Which drops it in at number 67 out of 76 movies. Just behind Captain America from 1979 and just above Gen 13 from, I don't remember when Gen 13 came out. I don't have that written down.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, Gen 13 was bad too. I forgot how bad that one was.
Yeah, Gen 13 was garbage also, and that makes a lot of sense because this movie is also garbage and they should be right beside each other.
Yeah. So, hey,
I mean, watching the trailer to Mummy 3, this seems like it would be good, but it is also Jet Li, who I'm not terribly fond of in most movies.
Really?
Well, it didn't make any sense being if they would have made it a standalone movie where it had nothing to do with the other two Mummy movies, it would have been fine. But the fact that it's in China instead of in Egypt, and there's no point in Brendan Fraser's character being there, and they didn't have the same chick playing Evelyn, so like it was stupid.
You're not wrong.
Interesting. It looks it looks good. Anyway, where can we find you, Joe? What are you up to?
Places and things. I had to go last because I give the next movie. You first. Where you at, Chuck?
You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Kicked Out of the Hood. You can find my... Listen, I'm gearing up. Okay, it's going to happen. Kicked Out of the Kitchen. No Ian Kicked. No Ian Kicked and Kicked Out of the Hood either. You can find my kitchen TikTok there. That's it. Those are the only places.
Yeah, this is.
Do you have a TikTok of you eating a banana?
Yes.
Do you have a TikTok of you eating corn?
No.
All right.
I don't really eat corn on the cob all that much.
Yeah, because you choke on it.
Look, hold on, time out. This is also December when this episode's coming out. You know, we're recording in November. Like, corn on the cob is not out right now. Like,
yeah, it's not seasonal.
Until spring at least. Yeah.
Well, not even spring.
Well, I guess it'd be fall. It'd be fall.
Corn on the cob is a late summer, early fall.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not buying corn on the cob now. Are you crazy? You know how much that costs?
Expensive. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think this is, Ron? You think I got corn on the cob money?
Oh, I know you do. Been hustling on the side.
No, I wish I had corn. Straight up. Go to patreon.com/professionalcasual. It was $1. 301 tiers where you want to be. 301 helps this show grow, helps us get some money to buy some new equipment, that kind of stuff.
To buy
fees,
Chuck
all those
corn
things.
on the cob.
I mean, I could afford some corn. Yeah, get me some corn on the cob. Yeah, I love Mexican street corn. It's like my favorite fucking thing in the world. So,
dude, have you had the Mexican street corn Cheetos?
I have. They're pretty good.
I love those.
The best one I ever had was a corn chip from Aldi's, which was like Mexican street corn flavored. Ooh. And it was so good. And then, like, for some reason, my Aldi's doesn't carry them anymore. And
Aldi does have a rotating stock of stuff.
Yeah, I know, and it's so frustrating because they were so good.
Okay.
Now they don't carry them no more.
Ron,
my sodium levels were dangerously high.
Yeah. Right now I'm in my living room. But you can find me on the internet at Good at This Game on Instagram and TikTok, and Good Art This Game is my art account on Instagram, and there's probably other places.
Yeah, so
Joey, where can they find you?
You can find this show on Twitter at Comic Rundown, Instagram at Comic Book Rundown, Threads at Comic Book Rundown. Trying to think what other social medias I have. I don't remember. Blue Sky. I'm on Blue Sky now. I don't know.
What the hell is that?
Blue Sky.
Yeah, it's a new. I say new, but it's been out for like a couple months. I don't know. You have to get an invite to be able to get on there. So it's
wow, and you haven't sent us an invite.
Are you a date millionaire?
I just got the invite last week. So fuck off.
Are you
I'm not trying to date millionaires. No, I'm not trying. I mean, look, I will if they give me some of their money. I'm not gonna say no. Just saying. Fair. It happens.
Everybody's got a price.
Exactly. You can email us comicbookrundown@gmail.com. Rate and review us on your podcasting app of choice. If you do, we'll read it on an upcoming episode. We've got merch over on Redbubble and TeePublic, and our song was done by Cam. Yep. Just Cam. Reminder, starting at the beginning of the year, rundown reviews all year long, every single Friday, coming at you. I'm looking forward to that. I think it's going to be kind of fun.
get ready for the absolutely most unhinged review podcast for a straight year on the planet. We're ripping through so many movies.
Dude, if this pops off, man, we might
somewhere around
just keep
52
we'll
of them.
see. Yeah, give or take. That's a lot, though.
Maybe more.
I mean, we could do more. We'll figure it out. Anyhoozle, our next movie that we will be talking about will be Daredevil from, what did I say, 2002? 2003?
I'm
Come on,
so
come
mad.
on, come on, come
I will
on.
not be on that episode, unfortunately. Well,
What the fuck?
I mean, unless something drastically changes, I probably won't. That, which is a shame because
What the chuck?
That movie arguably changed my life when it came out. Like, I'm not gonna say it was my like Joey's Batman, but it helped me discover Evanescence. I thought like this was
right, dude.
Yeah, like that was the biggest takeaway. Is I found Evanescence because of that.
Dude, almost the whole Daredevil soundtrack is actually pretty fucking fire.
When we get to Punisher, I remember listening to that soundtrack.
I had that album. I had that album.
Same, dude.
Yeah,
like we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yeah, that was
Thomas Jane.
What a fucking corporate butt rock.
Which is coming up fairly quick. Like we're pretty close to that. We should hit that.
I loved this era. Is like my favorite, arguably like 01 Marvel to like right before Iron Man comes out is like my favorite run because they're not good, but they're
not bad though. Like
they were the best
right
thing that had come out at that time.
Yes.
Yeah.
100% yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna be talking Daredevil. I've got both copies, the theatrical cut and director's cut. I'm not gonna ask you Ron, I'm not gonna ask you to watch both, but I'm gonna watch both because I want to see. Apparently, the director's cut is better. I've never seen.
Did you get to see?
Disney?
Do you get to see Jennifer Garner naked?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Well, if you do, then the cut is better. If not, then it doesn't really matter.
As for where you can find the movie, I don't think it's streaming anywhere. Like, I mean, like for free. You have to pay for it.
I think
the double.
If I don't have it, Jess has it.
Yeah, worst case, I can watch the regular version first and get it over to you. So, will be the first time we've done that.
This movie I say Iron Man's right here is evident.
So is the Hellboy that I forgot I had.
No, Hellboy is in your should be in your D&D stuff.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I set it down there last game.
I don't. I got a terrible memory. We'll figure it out. Anyway,
because it's not sitting over on my shelf anymore, and it's not sitting on my cabinet either. So
okay, I'll check that. We got D&D coming up this Sunday. I would have figured it out by then, maybe.
Allegedly,
no, it's not this Sunday. It's next Sunday.
2 Sundays. 2 Sundays.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
man, I was like, wait, fuck, I'm not ready.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you all for listening, and we will catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.